All right, next up is rhetorical analysis. So let's look how we build a body paragraph for rhetorical analysis. One thing I like about rhetorical analysis is the body paragraph can be very structured, and that's okay. That's fine if it's a little bit formulaic and it's easier to kind of piece things together when you use the formula. So again, I used my same thesis from the last video. So it says, in her letter to her son, Abigail Adams encourages him to make the most of his voyage to France by evoking pride and duty and citing an alternative perspective. So I wrote the mode of development as a statement. So these are the assertions that we were working in class, right? Where I have my actor, so my who, my how, and my why. So let's look at that. I have Adams evokes pride and a sense of duty from her son to encourage him to take advantage of this unique opportunity. So right here is my why, to encourage him to take advantage of this unique opportunity. Here is my how, the evoking pride and a sense of duty. And then obviously Adams is my who. So I have all three pieces, and that's what builds a really effective assertion. Now over here, you'll notice that I put claim to, because as you're writing your rhetorical analysis, I just think it makes more sense to go in the order of the passage, and this mode of development isn't until the very end. So if I was writing my essay, I'd probably start with where she cites her alternative argument, and then goes into my second body paragraph would be about how she evokes pride and duty. For evidence, I picked out the things we've talked about in class, where she talks about his father and what he's done to be really successful and for his country. And then I pulled that last line where she says to make her proud, essentially. So let's start with our claim, which is Adams evokes pride and a sense of duty from her son to encourage him to take advantage of this unique opportunity. Okay, there's my claim sentence. Now I need to go into evidence, and the first piece of evidence that we picked out is the fact that she mentions his dad and all he's done for his country. So I'm going to lead into that, and I'm going to say, I don't want to start with Adams again. I'm trying to avoid starting with the exact same word I started my last sentence with, but using her husband as a positive role model, Adams hopes to evoke pride from her son. Now, I can't just go ahead and just drop that quote right in there, so I can paraphrase. Like I said, I can semi-paraphrase, which means using part of it and changing and keeping some of it, or I can lead in. So for this one, I think I'll use the lead-in method. For instance, she writes that I'm going to use this second part right here, that his father, so I don't know why I put them over there, discharged the trust reposed in him with so much satisfaction as to be honored with the important embassy to France. And you don't need to cite line numbers or anything in your rhetorical analysis. Just put quotes around it so they know it's a quote. And the first thing I want to do is, this one is an example of what time when we need a little context. What is the important embassy? What is she talking about? So I'm going to provide that explanation first. John Adams has been selected as a delegate to France because of his impressive work for the country. Okay, so there I did step 1 of the checklist. I explained the context a little bit so it made more sense. Step 2 then is to connect back to my topic sentence, and in this case that means connecting back to my strategy first, okay? So I want to explain why, or not necessarily why yet, but how this is going to evoke pride. So John Adams has been selected as a delegate to France because of his impressive work for the country, by reminding, this is annoying, John Quincy Adams of this. She wants to reinforce how proud he should be of his father, who has done so much work to help his country. So, I explained my mode of development, that she's evoking pride. Now, I need to connect to the why, to encourage her son to take advantage of this unique opportunity. Okay? So by reminding John Quincy Adams of this, she wants to reinforce how proud he should be of his father, who has done so much work to help his country. The desired outcome of this pride is that he will okay, that's awkward. I'm going to start over that sentence. I'm erasing things I don't want to erase. I should have just crossed it out. Okay. To help his country. Adams hopes this will motivate him to take pride in his own work and make the most of his voyage. Okay, I got a little messy there, but here I've explained how this is showing the mode of development, which is to evoke pride, and here I have linked it back to purpose. Now, I could go on. I do have another piece of evidence, but essentially it would just be kind of reiterating the same thing, which is fine. And if I was writing my paper and I had the evidence, I would definitely use both. But as you can see, I'm a little low on space right here. So I'm going to show you what I have so far, break it down like I did in the last video. But I would definitely continue on, and I would say how she ends the letter by saying that she hopes that he will make her proud, and by saying so, she is encouraging him to make the most of this opportunity again, okay? But we'll look at what we have so far. Again, we have our claim here at the top, states what our technique is, which is the mode of development, as well as why it's used, okay? My purple is what I think I used for evidence before. So that's right here. And then all of this following that is evidence. Remember, first I explained the context. I needed to explain what that important embassy to France was. I needed to give enough context so we knew what was happening. Then I explained how this piece of evidence evokes pride in his father. And then I linked that to her overall purpose, which was to make the most of the voyage. So really, if this was a really thorough body paragraph, I'd probably have just as much of this repeated with the second piece of evidence. So it'd be a pretty substantial paragraph. And like I said, I would talk about the hope she has for him, and then how by pointing that out to him at the end of the letter, she is reminding him of his duty to his parents in the hopes that he will make them proud and use this voyage as an opportunity. So like I said, this paragraph would definitely go on, but I wanted to just show you the first half and how I would build it using that Toolman structure, which is claim, data, and my warrant down here.